Thursday, May 6th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Facebook's oversight board has kept in place the ban on former President Donald Trump, but thrust back into the company's lap the final decision of how long the suspension should last. Political advocacy reporter Ryan Lovelace reports the board decided the social media giant was correct to suspend the former president after he sowed doubt about the presidential election and incited the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. But the board said Facebook's penalty of an indefinite ban didn't adhere to its guidelines and wants the company to reassess the punishment within 6 months. Facebook first blocked Trump for 24 hours immediately after the riot at the Capitol. The next day, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg extended the ban for at least 2 weeks. After President Biden's inauguration, the company referred the ban to the Oversight Board. Republicans are furious with Facebook's refusal to restore the account, and lawmakers in the party are ready to take such decision-making power away from the company. The House Republican Conference appears headed for a leadership change as members have soured on Chair Liz Cheney's perspective that the party must distance itself from former President Trump's lies about the 2020 election. Seth MacLachlan reports Cheney said the GOP is at a turning point, and more than embracing those lies about the election will do profound long-term damage to our party and our country. New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik has emerged as the leading contender to replace Cheney. The spotlight swung in her direction after House Republican leaders endorsed her to take over the number 3 job in their leadership. Since her election to Congress in 2014, Stefanik has been an enigma of sorts. She's compiled one of the most bipartisan records in the House, while emerging as a pro-Trump voice on Capitol Hill. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access to the Times yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. The Brood 10 cicadas have already begun to rise from their underground layers, and people across 15 Midwestern and Northeastern states will soon have free tickets to swarms of ear-piercing performances. Metro reporter Emily Zanto reports the first sightings in the D.C. region were reported in late April, but experts are expecting the major emergence to begin within the next few days. When the temperature 8 inches beneath the ground reaches 64 degrees, that's their cue. Young cicadas will emerge in waves from the burrows, where they've been feeding on tree sap since 2004. Brood 10 is one of 15 groups of periodical cicadas that emerge en masse every 13 or 17 years. And finally, the tiny Pacific island nation of Palau has invited the U.S. military to build ports, bases, and airfields on its islands in the face of rising Chinese intimidation. Palau's location on a North Pacific pathway that links Hawaii and Guam makes the nation a key strategic prize. In 1986, the United States and Palau signed the Compact of Free Association, allowing the Pentagon to be responsible for Palau's defense. The U.S. Army also used the 180-square-mile territory in 2020 to train 200 troops, the Army's first exercise there in nearly 40 years. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and subscribe for free to the front page. Just search Washington Times on your favorite podcast platforms. You can also listen to the front page on Amazon Alexa connected devices. Just say, "Alexa, play the front page podcast." And a reminder to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WashTimes for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.